So right now we're in front of our 376 DS. So we have two-door entries. So you have a rear door that's going to take you into the rear bedroom, and then you have your main door entrance right here. So before we go inside, let me just kind of point some things out that we have on the exterior. Starting with the construction on the sidewall. Now, Asdale has always been, well, I shouldn't say always, but probably the last 15 plus years, Asdale is a company based here in the U.S. That provides substrate walls for many RV manufacturers. It's basically taking a recycled material, a composite, and use it in lieu of going, say, with plywood or wood construction into an RV. So, in my experience, I've been dealing with Asdale for over 10 years. It's tried and true. Zero claim warranties when you go with the Asdale product. It's very beneficial. With the Columbus, obviously we have the Asdale product. Now, we have where most companies that are using Asdale, they'll have it on the exterior and that's it. Or maybe they'll have it on the exterior and then have a layer on the inside wall of your slide out or of your sidewall. We actually go with 2 layers of Asdale on the outside. So behind the fiberglass, there's no wood. You have the composite material with 2 sheets of it, and then you have another sheet on the inside. Okay, so behind the wallpaper, there is no wood. And in between all that, obviously you have your aluminum frame. You have rigid foam block insulation. You have EGS straps for backers or more aluminum for backers. Anything that we do as far as cutouts for the cargo bay area, windows, doorways, that's also going to be framed out aluminum. Okay. With part of that is once we go in those areas that have the Asdale product, then we go through the lamination period. Okay. So we don't just pinch roll, but we also vacuum bond. So you're adding pounds per square inch, probably about a 20 to 30 minute process. And that pretty much seals up any potentiality of any potential delamination issue to occur. So as I mentioned, in my years of working with products that have the Asdale, 0 claims on warranty. On top of that, frameless windows is part of what we do. That's standard. And what you'll find with Columbus is that there aren't too many options. I mean, because a lot of it is standard for us. So we provide 2 ACs as standard. You have your 6-point leveling hydraulic system, auto level, that's standard. Frameless windows, as I pointed out, that is standard. Let's see what else. We also include a 260-watt solar panel. Now, can you go, let's just say, add another solar panel? You could, so that would be another option. If you like to go, say, like if you want to go with dual pane windows, we have that as an option. And then you can also go with a third AC unit. That is also an option. When we do that, that third AC unit will go into the bedroom with a heat pump. Okay. We do enclose the underbelly. We run the furnace into the underbelly as well, along with the basement area. Along with that, we also have 12-volt heat pads that we have for the holding tank area.
Are they thermostatically controlled?
They are, yes.
And for the heat, you recommend that people, instead of using electric heaters, that they use the furnace so that the underbelly stays warm enough and prevents any damage.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, that is definitely something that a lot of people are doing. I think it's definitely a good idea to go that route.
Along with tank heaters, for sure.
Right. Along with it, and a lot of times too, if a lot of our customers are going to be at an RV park, so they are going to have their hookups. More than likely, they're going to be running off their furnace. Another thing that we do, we provide 2 awnings. So obviously on the campsite, you have a lot of coverage, a lot of patio area. The awnings do extend out 8 feet. So looking at the slide box down here to the front end, a lot of patio shade right here in the area. We do work with more ride on the easy lift steps. As you can see, we have a handle for the doorway. We also have on the pin box more ride as well. So this device, the way it's set up, it provides less chucking on the pin box area. And then as we work our way back to the rear of the trailer or the midsection of the trailer, you won't be able to see with the slide out, but we also have the More Ride 3000. So that gives you an extra 3 inches of travel. If you notice, a lot of times people will say, hey, you know, beautiful trailer, it looks taller. It might even look taller, say, than the next fifth wheel right beside it. It's really not. You're basically at a standard 13.5 from the top of the AC box to the ground. Probably the tallest trailer we have is 13.6. Okay. What makes it look taller? Well, we do go with taller slide boxes. We do go with bigger windows. And as you can walk in, when we go in the fifth wheel, you'll see why. You'll see that it really opens up the inside of the trailer. A lot of window view. All of our windows are tinted. So on a beautiful summer day when it's a little warm, your trailer will still be quite cool inside. Some of the other things that we do prep the front area for a generator. So you could add a 5.5 watt Onan generator. You could go to 6.5 as well. Your battery quick disconnect is also going to be on the front end. And if you notice on both ends of the fifth wheel, on the front end, you have areas that actually you got 3 areas. If you do running a generator, then you have vented areas for that gen. Slide outs with our brand. There's really 3 components that we use. On our deep slide, it's going to be a rack and pinion motor. When you get into a little bit of more than a shallow slide, we're going to go with the slim rack slide component. And then for the bedroom area, more likely for the bedding, it's just going to be electric motor that we work with through Lippert. On both ends of the trailer, you have 30-pound LP bottles. So that is standard. And then, of course, on the driver's side, you have your convenience station where you have your plumbing area. And you have your spray port located in that same area. And then you have your shoreline power that's stored in that reel, which we have it out as also showing just where we have that extra storage there. On this trailer, we also, as I look up, we do not have toppers, but toppers is an option. Now we do prep those areas. We add a rail in case your customer comes back and say, hey, you know, we would like to add toppers for those areas too. Laminate areas on the slide box, so we do that standard. And as we get to the back area over here, on this particular model, you have your entry door to the rear bathroom and bedroom. Thank you. We actually go a little bit wider on the trusses for our roof construction. So you're basically looking at a 2.5-inch regular wood pine wood trusses that we run from front to back of the fifth wheel. The reason why we go with the wood truss rather than steel, rather than aluminum, it not only does it provide more support, but it also, with all the torque that goes on as the fifth wheel is traveling, it's better to have the wood up there than saying going with aluminum or steel, because a lot of times we'll tend to buckle, maybe cause roof damage, where this is basically going to remain the same. No damage caused to the roof. Yes.
It's still walkable.
Full walk-on roof, absolutely. The other reason we do that on the deck board, we're using 8x8 sheets of decking, which is wider, a little bit bigger than most companies out there, which means you have less seams on the roof, right? So by doing that, basically it reinforces the roof construction. Going back to the trusses, it's a full walk-on roof, and with less seams, less potential damage caused maybe to the roof membrane. Okay.
Is there a weight limit for that walkability?
No, I mean, questions tend to come up sometimes on snow load, for example. It's never been, I don't think we've ever engineered tested what that weight capacity would be. But I mean, as a rule of thumb, I mean, when you're looking at maybe 20 pounds per square inch, I think that's that's pretty much a comfortable spot right there.
So someone who's like 300, 400 pounds, they can still walk on that roof?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely, yes. Okay. Yeah, because we could have a group of people up on the roof. So I mean, that's, on that aspect, yeah, no,
Could you actually put a platform up there so you could sit up there and whatnot? You probably wouldn't recommend
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
Understand.
And as you can see, you have the inside wall, and then you have the exterior wall. You have your rigid 2-inch rigid foam block insulation. You don't see the aluminum based on this cutout. You see a little bit right there, but again, this is just the cutout. And then the Asdale, the white material is the Asdale, so it's just composite material that's provided by the Asdale company, and it eliminates additional wood in the construction when we do the inside as well. Now the benefits to Asdale, so it cuts down the weight. So 50% lighter than if you were to go with regular plywood, any wood material. It's less prone to rot, mold, mildew, because if water was to soak up in this wall, and if there's wood behind that pylon or behind the inside panel, then it's going to soak it up, right? With this product here, it just simply dries up. It doesn't soak it. So no rot, no mildew, no formaldehyde, so it's chemical free. Each layer of Asdale also adds insulation value. So for each layer of Asdale, it's an R1, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. So automatically, between the 3 layers, you add an R3 value to your sidewalls on top of the normal construction.
How does that compare to those that don't use Asdale?
So let's just say most wall constructions, insulation-wise, will be rated at like an R7, R8. So with ours, you're basically looking at an R11. Actually, no, R12, R13. So it's pretty significant.
So R13, that's comparable to the house insulation R value?
Right. So you're basically looking almost as if, pretty close to what a residential insulation is. Okay. Now, and some of the insulations that we do use, so we use the rigid foam block insulation, residential insulation on the floor, on the roof. On the front cap, we actually use spray foam insulation, and that's actually a cutout of it.
And why do you use that?
So, on the front wall of the fifth wheel, we do go with foam block insulation. But as an added benefit, we're the only company that I know of that spray foam in our front cap. The reason for that, as we're hitting every corner of that cap, this foam also expands, right? And as you can see the density of it, right away, it's been engineered, tested, that if you have, on a hot summer day, or even on a cold night, right away on that upper deck, there's going to be a 20-degree change in temperature. Yeah. So on a summer day, if it's 110 out, it's going to be less 20 degrees cooler inside. And then, of course, when you run your AC, then even much cooler. And then quite the opposite during the wintertime. Keep that upper deck nice and warm.
And others don't use that?
That I know of, no. Okay. They are not. At least nobody's talking about it. And that's the beautiful thing with Columbus is that we do get the word out on our construction. We have a lot of great features on it. We want people to know. And then when you walk in through the trailer, you do see the quality. You do see the fit and finish. We have a 376 here. I can see that we made changes for 2025. The light fixtures you see on the ceiling, that has changed to LED light strips with light dimmers. So that is soon coming. Big benefit on that. It's less cutouts on the ceiling. And as you look around, I'm counting at least in this general area, we're looking at 10 or more cutouts. So, and they're easy to replace. LEDs, as you know, they last forever, right? It's lifelong, much better lasting, low efficient on energy. But if there is a fuse that goes out, they're easy to replace on those light strips. The fuses are basically can be purchased at Home Depot. You could go to True Value. Any local store would provide the fuses. If it's the entire strip, really easy to disconnect, really easy to replace. So, and as I mentioned, they do have light dimmers. When you get into the slide boxes, now I noticed this one is a little bit different than what we're coming out with for 25. For 2025, our interior slide box for the deep slide is 6 feet 11. Okay. And then in this particular model, we have the double suite. So towards behind you guys, we have a bathroom, so a full bath, a queen bed, and then up above it, we have a loft. The beauty about this floor plan, compared to anyone else, even if they do have a loft, you still get a vaulted ceiling in that rear bedroom. Where others, when they add a loft to it, they take away that vaulted ceiling. As you look at the appliances, you basically have your residential style stove oven, microwave. We have a 12 volt, 18 cubic foot refrigerator. Okay. But then everything that you see as far as cabinetry, even down to your island kitchen, it's all real wood. The doors, everything's all wood, even down to the mantle. We have soft closes on everything as far as your upper cabinet doors, your lowers, your drawers from front to back. Where other brands may just have it on their upper cabinet doors or maybe on their lower cabinet doors and not run it through the entire trailer. We have it everywhere. Okay. A big benefit on our Columbuses, when we go to the upper deck, we have a patent that upper deck, instead of being 6'6", 6'8", we're at 7 feet. That's a big benefit. Okay. And on that frame, especially for the upper deck, we're using the same frame as the River Ranch. Okay. And we're adding an extra C channel through that upper deck for added support. In 4 years, we've had 0 claims on flex frame issues. And you're starting to hear that now, especially in full profile fifth wheels, because that has become a problem with some manufacturers. For us, we haven't had that issue, and that attributes back to the engineering that we're working with Lippert to make that happen. So let's take a look into the main bedroom. Okay, so the main bedroom, you are going to have the king bed, so 72 by 80. It's on a slide. We do have outlets on both ends. You do have USBs located on the reading lamps up above. And then you have a CPAP stand on both ends as well.
And that fits most CPAP machines?
I think it does. I think they're, depending on standard, seems to fit for most CPAPs. Mm-hmm. Wyatt, right behind you on that wall, I noticed we have a black cap. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
It's a thermistor.
It is. As I noticed here, we have 3 AC units on this coach. It is the Whisper Quiet AC units. Each unit is 15K BTU. And in the bedroom, you do have the heat pump for the AC unit. On this one here, I noticed on the 376 we have the washer dryer prep in the bedroom. For 2025, we're going to have the washer dryer prep located in the half bath.
Yes.
Yes, customers are
Finally.
complaining about it being in the bedroom.
It's already
And that's
happening.
when you can do laundry.
Yep. That is already happening. In fact, any bath and a half floor plans will have the washer dryer in that half bath, not just in this floor plan. So, let's take a look at the storage underneath the bed. Give you an idea. Check out the aluminum frame on that bed. We have 2 additional chairs for the dinette area. And what I didn't point out earlier, the carpeting, not just underneath the bed, but as we go back into the living area, that's all marine grade. So marine carpeting, lot easier to work with, a lot easier to maintain, does not stain, easy to clean. And it doesn't get rigid. In other words, it doesn't fold up on the ends. Where other companies will run linoleum into the slide box, and on that outer fringe, depending on the weather, and most times during the winter time, it tends to get rigid on the fringe, and it'll make it just
I'm supposed to use a bathroom, JP.
it starts curling
you
upwards.
need to camera this too.
You may want to take the camera there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're taking a bathroom break, are we?
Knowing that we can all fit in the toilet. You gotta sit. You gotta sit on the toilet, get in the shower. So what is the seat in the shower for?
I'll give you.
That's a trick question.
No, actually, I'll give you an example. Some of those maybe that might have health issues.
Right.
Maybe somebody that's
Great for shaving legs.
great for shaving legs. I haven't shaved my legs in quite a while, but yes, that is certainly a possibility for most people.
Except for this month, it's November.
There you go.
No shave November.
No shave November.
Yeah.
Yes. Each of our doorways 78 inches too. Not just the main door that some brands advertise. This one is at 78 through and through. And as we work our way back, we have our control panel here for your lighting, for your slides, for your awning. Now there is a Bluetooth application for it. However, you can still control the lighting, everything that you want to control through the panel here.
So I can basically take my phone and control the awning and the slide out.
You can.
Great.
Slides, awnings, lights.
Okay.
Okay. We have an inverter.
You were good.
I need to look
Yeah,
good.
yeah, you can take her.
We also have an inverter. It's 1800 watts. We have 6 areas throughout the fifth wheel for hotspots. We do label the outlets of where those hotspots are located. And then we get to the floor construction. Tongue and groove, 5/8 inch tongue and groove flooring, real wood, no OSB. And OSB is basically core wood, wood mixed together that tends to have chemicals, provide that formaldehyde odor. You do not have that in this coach. And as you look, and as I showed you even over there as I lifted the bed, no OSB underneath our furniture, where other brands will do that.
Right.
So, as far as the insulation goes, on the floor and on the exterior, again, we are going with batten insulation on the floor. And I believe I have a cutout. Yes, I do. We add radiant barrier to the roof and then also on the floor.
Is that Reflectix?
It is. It is. So basically, it's either going to trap the thermostat, or actually the AC, or the furnace. So if you're running the AC unit on a hot summer day, it's keeping the trailer cool. On the flip side, this time of the year, it's keeping the heat from leaving the trailer. So it's keeping your fifth wheel a lot warmer as well.
And where is that located again?
So this is going to be located on the roof.
Okay.
Okay. It's also going to be located under the slide out. I don't know if we have it. Yep, we do have it exposed there. Okay. And then on the bottom side of the floor, so once you have the 5/8 inch tongue and groove flooring, your insulation, you have underneath that, you're going to have your weather board, your deck board, or not sorry, your deck board. Just on the bottom side of that floor is going to be a wood treated material for all weather. And then the final finish would be sealing off that underbelly. Now, a lot of companies are using just standard corrugated plastic, and up here in the Northwest, when it rains quite often, after a certain period of time, that corrugated plastic is going to give way. And if you haven't seen it on the road, I'm sure you have. You've seen a travel trailer that you're following. You're just seeing that corrugated plastic just dragging. This is a laminate plastic. Okay, it actually adds an extra R1 insulation too, so it's better for all weather. And then just on the inside of it, we also add radiant barrier. Okay, so all in all, you have a well-built, well-insulated fifth wheel. We have the best 5 floor plans out in the market. We'll go take a look at a River Ranch and just kind of compare the differences between the two. But we have more floor plans coming this spring.
Same
so,
platforms, though.
Yes.
Framing and everything. Okay.
Yeah, same framing. And I was going to point out there's a corner box on the floor. When we add that extra added C-channel to the front and the upper deck, it's actually, think of it as an outer rail. You have 2 rails on that outer end. Now, most companies are going to go with the 6-inch outer rail or maybe an 8-inch. We have 2 rails on the exterior. We do have cross welding too to add more support on that upper deck. Okay.
Is this considered 4-season?
Yes. I think especially when you go to dual pane, when you have the enclosed underbelly, the fact that we're running heat into the underbelly in the basement and the heat pads, yes, it's considered a 4-season trailer.
And what temperature would that generally, on average, be able to? I know there's all varied conditions, but on average, what does the industry consider like the lower end temperature that you
Well,
could floor?
Yeah, the floor, the piping, I would say any trailer that has exposed plumbing is going to be really, like I jokingly say, a 3.5 season trailer, right? A lot of fifth wheels have plumbing exposure, but what prevents the freeze is to keep that area covered. Now, most times, that really applies to full timers, and if you're going to be traveling in sub-zero temperature and you're going to be working out there or full-timing out there through the cold season, then you want to also consider skirting the fifth wheel. Yeah.
But what temperature, as it stands now, what temperatures roughly could you, on average, get down to? I know they're all conditions, but on average.
Yeah, I couldn't say because we haven't tested that out. Okay. So I think it comes down to I think when you look at sub-zero temperatures, well, even at that, how cold is it? Now, if you're going to be in North Dakota working through the season out there, then you're, like we talked about earlier, you're going to have to skirt the entire trailer. And then obviously add additional LP bottles or go with the bigger tanks.
Thank you.
All right.